Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and felt pulled down? Not old, not unattractive, just heavier somehow, as if your face carries more weight than it used to, even on days when you're well-rested, well-dressed, and fully yourself. Your face didn't change overnight. Your skin didn't suddenly give up. Gravity did. And gravity doesn't ask permission. It works quietly, slowly, over time. Here's the part no one really explains to women after 50. Most of the time, it's not your face that needs fixing. It's not your features. It's not your expression. It's the frame around it. Because hair doesn't just sit on your head. It shapes how your face is seen. It directs the eye. It creates lift, or it adds drag. The wrong cut can pull attention downward, soften definition in the wrong places, and make your face feel tired, even when you're anything but. Today isn't about looking younger. It's about something far more honest. It's about choosing haircuts that lift your face and your energy after 50. Haircuts that respect where you are now, that work with your features as they evolve, not against them. Because when the frame is right, your face doesn't need to try harder. It simply rises to meet the light again. Before we talk about any specific haircut, you need one simple idea. Every truly flattering haircut after 50 does the same 3 things. Not 5, not 10, just 3. I call them the 3 lift points. Once you understand these, you'll never look at a haircut the same way again. First, jawline lift. Where the hair stops matters more than most people realize. Hair that hangs below the jaw with no structure doesn't just sit there. It pulls everything down with it. The jawline is one of the first places gravity shows up. So when hair drags past it without intention, the face can start to look heavier, softer, and less defined. The right length, placed with purpose, can instantly bring back shape and clarity. Second, cheekbone focus. Layers and bangs are not decoration. They're direction. They guide the eye. Placed well, they draw attention upward, toward the eyes, the cheekbones, the expression. They let the gaze slide down the face, settling on areas you probably don't want highlighted. This one change can make the difference between a face that feels lifted and one that feels tired. Third, crown balance. Volume is powerful, but only when it's in the right place. Too much weight low on the head adds heaviness. Too little volume on top makes everything sink. But even a subtle lift at the crown can change how your entire face is perceived. These 3 lift points work together. Length, direction, balance. Keep them in mind as we move forward, because we're going to come back to them with every cut. And once you see how they work, you'll start choosing haircuts that don't just look good. They support you. As you listen, quietly note a few things about yourself. Not to judge, not to compare, just to notice. Your face shape. Round, oval, heart, long. Each one carries its own balance, its own way of holding light. Your hair density. Fine, medium, thick. This matters more than trends ever will. Because hair behaves differently, depending on what it has to work with. And your effort tolerance. Low, medium, high. Be honest with yourself here. Not about what you wish you had time for, but what you're actually willing to do on an average morning. This isn't about limiting your options. It's about choosing the right ones. Because not every beautiful haircut is beautiful on you. And that's not a failure. That's not something to fix. That's clarity. When you understand your face, your hair, and your lifestyle, you stop chasing styles and start choosing support. And that's where confidence begins. Who decided that short hair makes a woman less feminine? Honestly, if femininity were measured by length, confidence would have disappeared decades ago. A side-swept pixie isn't just a haircut. It's a statement. It says, I know my face, I trust it, and I'm not hiding behind my hair anymore. This cut lifts the face because it quietly nails all 3 lift points. First, the jawline is exposed, not hidden. Instead of hair dragging past it, the line is revealed with intention, bringing back definition that gravity tries to blur. Second, the cheekbones become the focus. Side-swept bangs guide the eye upward, toward the eyes and expression, not downward toward heaviness. Third, the crown gets natural lift. Not teased, not sprayed into submission. Just smart structure that gives height where it matters most. If your hair is fine or thinning, this cut works with gravity instead of fighting it. Here's something many women don't realize until they see it for themselves. Long hair with fine texture often looks thinner than short hair. Why? Because weight pulls it flat. Length stretches the strands downward, exposing the scalp and stealing volume. The pixie removes weight in the right places, and suddenly your hair lifts. It gains movement. It looks fuller, even though there's technically less of it. This isn't magic, it's physics. Who this cut is great for: fine or thinning hair, oval or heart-shaped faces, women who want low effort, high polish. Anyone tired of hair that hides instead of supports. Who should skip it? If you truly hate styling, even for 2 minutes. Or if you're not emotionally ready to see your face clearly, because this cut doesn't give you places to hide. And that's not judgment, that's honesty. What to say to your stylist: I want soft graduation at the nape, longer side-swept bangs, and lift at the crown. Those words matter. They keep the cut elegant instead of severe. Fail-safe warning: if the bangs are cut too blunt or too short, the pixie can feel harsh and rigid. And harshness is the enemy after 50. Softness is everything here. When done right, this cut doesn't make you look less feminine. It makes you look unmistakably yourself. Not everyone wants edgy. Sometimes elegance whispers. And the chin-length blunt cut is a perfect example of that quiet power. It doesn't chase trends. It doesn't demand attention. It simply holds the face together. This cut lifts the face by acting like a visual anchor. By stopping right at the jaw, it creates instant definition. Your jawline looks cleaner, your neck appears longer, and the overall shape of your face feels more sculpted, without a single styling trick. This cut is especially powerful for hair that's thinning at the ends. Long layers can make thinning hair look wispy and tired, even when the roots are healthy. Blunt ends, on the other hand, change the story immediately. They create a strong, clean line. They give the illusion of density. They make hair look fuller the moment the scissors stop. There's something reassuring about that. The chin-length blunt cut also brings a sense of polish without requiring effort. You can wear it sleek and straight. You can add a soft bend. You can tuck one side behind the ear and still look intentional. It pairs beautifully with glasses, framing the face instead of competing with it. Who this cut is for: women who want polish without fuss, straight or slightly wavy hair. Anyone who wears glasses and wants clean lines, hair that feels thinner at the ends but stronger at the roots, very tight curls without proper layering. Hair that truly needs a lot of movement to feel alive. What to say to your stylist: chin length, blood perimeter, with subtle internal layers so it doesn't feel heavy. Those internal layers are the quiet hero here. Fail-safe: if it's cut too long, it drags the face downward. If it's cut too short, it loses its elegance and becomes severe. The sweet spot is precise. When done well, this cut doesn't shout sophistication, it simply rests there. Clean, calm, and undeniably confident. This one doesn't scream makeover. It murmurs confidence. The soft layered bob isn't trying to transform you. It's trying to lift you, gently. This cut works by redirecting movement upward. Layers placed just below the chin create a subtle optical illusion. Nothing obvious, nothing dramatic, but the effect is real. Cheekbones appear higher, the jawline feels lighter. The face looks more awake, without looking altered. That's the beauty of it. Instead of adding sharp lines, this cut adds flow. And flow is incredibly forgiving. It works with natural waves. It works with fine hair that needs encouragement. It works beautifully with gray or silver, because the layers catch light and add dimension instead of letting the color fall flat. This bob doesn't fight your hair's natural behavior. It listens to it. That's why it's such a favorite for women whose hair has started to feel heavy, flat, or stubborn. Who it's for: round or long face shapes that benefit from vertical lift. Hair that feels weighed down or lacks movement. Women who want lift without drama. Anyone craving softness without losing structure. What to say to your stylist: soft layers below the chin, light around the face, nothing choppy. Those last two words matter, because the magic of this cut lives in restraint. Fail safe. Too many layers turn softness into chaos. Too much texture breaks the illusion of lift. Soft, intentional, balanced. That's the goal. When done right, this cut doesn't announce itself. It simply makes people think, she looks really good today, without knowing exactly why. Long hair is not forbidden after 50. Unshaped long hair is. Length itself isn't the problem, weight is. When long hair has no shape, no intention, it doesn't frame the face, it hangs from it. And hanging hair adds drag. That's where long layers with curtain bangs change everything. This cut lifts the face by doing two things at once. It removes bulk where gravity pulls hardest, and it adds flow where the face needs lightness. They keep the length, but take away the heaviness. Instead of pulling downward, the hair starts to move with you again. Curtain bangs are the quiet hero here. They frame the eyes without boxing in the face. They soften the forehead without shouting bangs. They split gently, drawing attention inward, toward your eyes and expression. And they're forgiving. They grow out beautifully. They blend into the layers over time. No harsh stages, no regret. This style is especially powerful for women who love their length but feel like it's started to work against them. Who this cut works best for? Medium to thick hair that can hold layers. Women who want to keep length but lose weight. Anyone craving softness, movement, and ease. Failsafe. If the layers are too long and the bangs too heavy, the face drops. The lift disappears. The goal isn't drama, it's balance. When done right, this cut doesn't make you look younger. It makes your long hair feel lighter, freer, and finally aligned with who you are now. This is movement in haircut form. A modern shag doesn't sit still, it responds. It lifts the face by adding bounce and texture, not weight, not stiffness. And that difference matters. This isn't the shag of decades past. Nothing feathered, nothing wild. It's not messy. It's alive. The layers are soft, strategic, and purposeful. They create lift around the face, lightness through the mid-lengths, and movement that follows you when you turn your head. For women who feel trapped in stiff, overly styled cuts, this haircut can feel like air. It breaks rigidity. It releases tension. It lets the face breathe again. Instead of pulling the eye downward, the shag redirects attention upward and outward, toward expression, energy, and presence. This cut is especially freeing for hair that feels flat, lifeless, or overly controlled. It doesn't demand perfection. It works with natural texture instead of fighting it. Fine to medium hair that benefits from movement. Women who want ease without looking careless. Anyone craving personality without drama. Failsafe. Too much texture turns intention into chaos. Too many choppy layers break the shape. This cut needs restraint. When done well, the modern shag doesn't look styled. It looks in motion. And that sense of movement often does more to lift the face than any sharp line ever could. Many women hold on to haircuts because they feel safe. They're familiar, predictable, comforting. But familiar doesn't always mean flattering. Sometimes it just means you haven't questioned it in a long time. Haircuts can become habits. And like any habit, they can quietly stop serving you. Letting go of the style isn't losing yourself. It isn't erasing your identity. It's starting over. It's allowing your face to breathe again. It's making space for light, for movement, for the version of you that exists now. And often the fear isn't about the haircut at all. It's about seeing yourself clearly, without the familiar frame you've been hiding behind. But clarity isn't something to be afraid of. When the frame is right, your face doesn't disappear. It opens. And that's where real confidence returns. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to look younger. You need to look lighter. Lighter in how your face holds itself. Lighter in how your hair moves with you instead of pulling you down. You need to look clearer. Clearer in the mirror. Clearer in how you recognize yourself when you catch your reflection unexpectedly. More supported. by the right shape, the right balance, the right frame for who you are now. Because the goal was never to rewind time, it was to remove the weight that quietly settled in places you didn't ask for. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, you'll walk past a mirror, pause for just a moment, and smile. Not because you look different, but because you look right. And you'll think, ah, there I am. If this helped you, if it gave you clarity or even a small sense of relief, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to Golden Elder Days, and tell me in the comments, which haircut feels like relief? And which one are you curious to try next? Because this isn't about changing who you are. It's about finally letting yourself show up without carrying extra weight you no longer need.
Hello there. If you enjoy gentle conversations, thoughtful reflections, and inspiring ideas about beauty, elegance, and growing into yourself after 50, then our community posts are just for you. This is where we share quiet thoughts, helpful tips, and simple reminders that you are not alone on this journey. Feel free to join the discussion, leave a comment, or simply read along and take what speaks to your heart. We're always happy to have you here.